Guten Tag, my liebe deutsche Freunde. 16 things not to do in Germany, guys. One of the things that you don't want to do in Latvia, that's don't walk in outdoor shoes indoors. Basically, you have to take off your shoes when you are indoors. This is the first thing. Second thing is don't expect that everybody speaks Russian over here in Latvia. And probably, I don't know about that, but I heard that it's not very nice to joke about like our Soviet past, because we were under occupation for like 50 years. But for me, like, okay, it is what it is. I'm not so emotional about that. So anyways, let's jump in, guys.
Phil, Diana is from the United States and I am from Germany, and in this video we're going over 16 things that you should not do in Germany.
Okay, let's go.
Alright, so some of these things are a little more serious and some of them are going to be pretty funny, so let's just get right into it.
Alright, number 1. You should never recycle wrong or throw away your Pfand.
Pfand!
So Germany is a pretty green country and people tend to take their recycling pretty serious. So if you're here, you should not just throw everything in one bucket, but separate it between plastic, metal, paper,
that's nice.
rest, and all that good stuff. I don't even know how many there are.
So Pfand is a deposit where you pay a little extra on bottles or cans, and you'll usually return them at a little machine in the supermarkets where you get a voucher and your money back for doing.
By the way, we have them also. We have this thing. I even have a small bag on my kitchen where I put the deposit bottles. And if I think in Latvia we're just starting to do more like recycling, you know, sorting the trash. But I think if there would be like 5-6 million of us, this process would go even faster.
Voucher and your money back for doing a good thing. So never throw away your fun bottle.
Never.
Number 2, you should never drive on the left or the middle lane of the Autobahn. There's actually a law in place that requires you to drive on the right lane on the Autobahn at all times, unless you're overtaking somebody. So if you're not planning to go super fast and overtake a lot of people, you're required to drive on the right lane. So don't drive in the middle or the left lane slowly and block traffic.
Okay.
Because people will get aggressive.
And
Okay.
honk. Number 3, don't walk in the bicycle lanes. In Germany, there are a lot of different bicycle lanes in and out of the city, and especially in student towns, there'll be a lot of bikers. So don't walk in them. Walk in the pedestrian zones or a sidewalk. That's what they're for.
This one I feel as much as possible because I'm a bicycler. I bicycle for last 9 years already, and I hate when people are walking down the bicycle lane. Sometimes I do it myself, but when I notice it, I just move on. But there are people who just don't care. They are just going through the bicycle lanes, you know. So guys, how do you feel about that? Do you like going down the bicycle lanes? Are you irritated that like if you are a bicycle rider that there are people going down the lane? I would love to hear your comments in the comment section, guys.
4, do not address strangers using their first name. It is kind of funny, but in Germany for the word you, if you address somebody, we have 2 versions. There is du and there is sie, and sie is a polite version. It also implies that you're on a last name basis. So that is the polite version to use. And if you meet somebody for the first time, or especially an elder person, you use the polite form. You do not use their first name. You are on a last name basis and use the sie instead of the du. And if you get to know a person very well and you're on a friend basis, on a first name basis, then it's fine to use the first name and the du.
Oh, that's very nice. I mean, in Latvian we have jūs. It means sie. And do, it would be tu. So very familiar, yeah, very similar. And I get it. I really get it, man. It's not so hard. Nice.
Number Number 5, don't use public transportation without a ticket. A lot of the public transportation systems are controlled a lot, and there'll be men and women who just appear once the ride has started to check on everyone to see if they have a ticket.
Yeah, they're undercover. And the fines are usually kind of high or out of proportion with the ticket prices.
Yeah.
A number I always have in my mind is 60 euros, but nowadays it might be even more, like
60
80 or 100.
euros.
Not
Oh
worth it.
my god.
Okay, number 6 and the
Listen, I mean, I love to drive without a ticket back in the day. Nowadays, I drive with bicycle or I take a car, you know, just car sharing. But if I'm not in a rush, sometimes I will tell you guys I drive without a ticket. I think there's the ticket for driving without the ticket. You can get the maximum amount of 20 euros or something like that here in Riga.
This is a little bit more of a serious one. You should never show the Nazi salute or joke about Nazis in Germany.
Yeah,
of course,
yeah,
because
I know
of
what
the
you
history in Germany, it's kind of a forbidden thing to do. And most of the Germans nowadays were kind of raised by this post-World War II anti-Nazi generation. If another person comes to the country and does anything Nazi related, it's so out of our minds that it's so weird that the world still thinks that. So that's quite offensive, and you should never ever do that. And by the way, the same thing also applies to sing the old version of the national anthem. And I think around the world a couple of people still think that might be it. And it's the one with the Deutschland, Deutschland über alles. That is the Nazi anthem. You're not allowed to sing that anymore. The real one is Einigkeit und Recht und Freiheit, blah blah blah. That's the newer national anthem, and that's the only one that's supposed to be sung in Germany.
Listen, I mean, this is what I said about the Soviet past here in Latvia, as we were occupied for 50 years by Soviets. I mean, yeah, a lot of people got shot, you know, a lot of people got killed by Stalin's cleanings, you know, by the Red Terror, including almost one of my grandfathers got taken out, but he fortunately was able to hide. But they didn't want to kill him, they wanted to deport him. Basically, there was this big deportation in Baltic states where they were taking people to send to Siberia and other parts of Russia, right? But still in Riga we have the corner house, the KGB house. If you come to Riga, visit it, and you will see all the war crimes that Soviet soldiers did here, KGB did here during their occupation. That was terrible.
Number 7, don't gossip in English in public. Most Germans have a very decent grasp of English, and they'll probably understand you. I know it's very common when people go to other countries, they tend to gossip in another language. I've heard it spoken in different languages all the time, and it's a little uncomfortable and embarrassing when other people understand you. So to avoid uncomfortable situations like that, gossip behind their back.
Number 8. You should never disrespect the German quiet hours. So every day, or rather every night, from 10 p.m. till 6 or 7 a.m. the next morning in Germany, by law, there are quiet hours. So you're not supposed to play loud music, do construction or anything like that. Most of the country kind of abides by that rule, which means there's very little noise pollution during the night when you're trying to sleep or relax.
Really
and
nice.
I think it's a kind of a nice thing. So if you do that, the Germans probably will call the police on you because they think they're in the right, and they do that, and the police knocks and turn it down. Never ever disrespect the quiet hours.
Listen, that's what I do also. I mean, I'm not ashamed of it. If some of my neighbors 3 o'clock in the night they turn on music, this is very disrespectful. This is very selfish towards your neighbors, and I don't like how to say, I forgot the word unfortunately, but I straight away call the police, and that's it, because this is very stressful, you know, to sleep when somebody is partying. I understand when you party, but sometimes people just go over they don't care about nothing.
Alright, so before we continue with the video, we want to take a quick moment to remind you guys, please go and like the video. It helps us out a lot. We're still a small channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. I can see that about 80% of the viewers are not subscribed to the channel.
Dana
also,
and
if you
Phil
want
channel,
support us,
guys.
you can do that on Patreon. We have a Patreon page.
Nice
it's
channel about Germany.
So number 9, don't solely rely on credit card payments. In Germany, there's still a lot of things that are pretty cash-based, and sometimes your credit card will even be rejected from a stall, a bakery, or a vendor. So it's
Wow.
important to note and make sure you have cash on you. So number 10,
Talking about the cash, I'm always using like a card. Even I always pay with my mobile phone. Basically, I don't even use a card, man. And when there's no internet, I'm basically cannot buy anything.
don't expect small talk. If you're from the South and you're used to the good old Southern American small talk, that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
and it's not trying to be rude, it's just a cultural difference. So don't
Yeah.
expect to chat with a random stranger
Same
about
over
the weather
here.
or something.
Yeah.
Number 11.
Same thing in Latvia. We just people don't do small talk at all. They're so introverts over here.
Is do not expect free water anywhere. So if you're used to the American way, you go to a restaurant and the waiter comes right away with a nice bucket of cold ass water and refills you for free all evening long. That is not a thing in Germany and you should not expect that. I think it's quite of a dumb thing, but water in German restaurants is quite expensive and most of the times even bubbly.
Sprudelwasser.
So in some places you could actually ask for tap water and potentially get it for free, but a lot of places don't even do that, and if they do, it might be a little frowned upon. But in general, you should not expect free water everywhere. Number
That's very sad.
12. Do not enter a house with your shoes on.
Oh,
So
that's
around
what I said
Germany,
also.
It's pretty common to take off your shoes if you enter somebody else's house. Or at least you should ask if you should take your shoes
Yeah,
off. And
well-
sometimes they say, no, you don't have to. But a lot of times people take their shoes off right at the entrance, leave them there, and then just walk around in your socks.
Leave your dirty shoes in the front.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious how many of the households do that. I would say the majority of the households in Germany do that thing and do not walk around with their shoes on. Maybe let us know in the comments below if you had to take your shoes off at your parents' house or how you do it at the moment.
Listen, I mean, do you guys do the same? Do you take shoes off? I mean, if I see a person coming into my house with the shoes on, I can get crazy, man. I can lose the control. Like, I don't know why. Because you're taking the dirt from the outside, you're taking in the inside, and that's it, you know? That's not very nice. And then you have to clean the floor even more.
So number 13, don't give advance birthday wishes. Even if it's
Yeah,
a day
man,
before
that's
someone's
rude.
birthday
That's
and you
rude.
will not see them on their birthday, do not wish them a happy birthday.
It's not their birthday yet.
I learned that after coming to Germany. You are not allowed to wish them a happy birthday until on their birthday or after their birthday.
Yeah, and I was surprised to learn in the US that a lot of people do that actually.
Some people will have a party a week in advance if that just works with their schedule.
So much
Man,
bad
this
luck.
is so strange.
Number
Why not do party after? Why?
14 is kind of a very serious one. You should never, ever expect to be dressed in a sauna on every beach.
Not even underpants?
All right, this is kind of a funny one. We just wanted to throw that in there. In Germany, in a sauna, usually you are naked. You go in with a towel and then you take it off or whatever, but you are actually not allowed to wear any clothing. If you wear clothing in there, people can get the whatever security or supervisors and they'll throw you out or make you undress.
You must be naked.
Yeah, there are also parts of beaches in Germany that are especially for nakedness, nudity.
Beaches.
Yeah, nude beaches. We call it FKK, Freikörperkultur. And on these beaches, you have to be naked. It's not allowed to
Wow,
wear any
that's
clothing.
Like
interesting.
fully naked?
Yeah, fully naked.
Yeah, so I've yet to go to a nude beach or a nude sauna, but I'm open to it.
Ho ho. Should I be concerned?
Why? It's gonna be a whole bunch of older people. So number
Over here in Latvia, we just don't care. People just go in shorts, you know, in underpants into sauna, man.
15, don't abandon your shopping cart. I feel like in the US sometimes there'll be shopping carts spread throughout the parking lot and they'll just be like a shopping
I
cart
hate
ghost
it, man.
town.
I
In
hate
Germany
it.
that is
I
not the
hate
case.
it.
You need a coin to access a cart and you also want your coin back. So you have to return the cart to get your coin back. And it's a good system, it's nice, and there's not abandoned shopping carts everywhere.
And our last point, point number
We have the same. We have to like put in the coin in.
16 is in Germany, you should not jaywalk.
We ain't in New
What
York
means
City.
jaywalk?
Yeah, but we're kind of in Berlin, so let's say you should not, but a lot of people still do it. although I think the majority of the people kind of follow the rules and they do not jaywalk. You should always cross where the little traffic light is, and then only when the green
man
mannequin,
tells you.
not the red one. And it's not that hardly persecuted, but you can actually get fined if you get caught in the act jaywalking.
Makes perfect
so
sense.
police sees you, gets you, and I don't know how much it is, 5, 10, 20 euros, something like that. So you should not jaywalk in Germany. All right, so those were our 16 things that you should not do if you go to Germany. Let us know in the comments below.
Guys, what of these 16 things you liked more, and which one you didn't like? And that's I would love to hear in comment section from you. This is the first thing. What I liked is like the quiet hour, you know, and then also the deposit system. That's very nice. What I didn't like is that you have to go naked in sauna. Man, whatever, we live in a free world. I can go in underpants if I want, you know. Anyways, Dankeschön and auf Wiedersehen, and see you in the next videos.